Good morning, everyone. We're going now with our webinar on excellent customer service. This is a very important webinar, and I think what often happens is that only frontline staff webinars, but it is important to understand that everyone's role and responsibility, and we need to take personal accountability for it, what level of the organization we're in. So providing excellent customer service is vital to your reputation and the overall success of every organization and the people that work there. Now, customer service can be the one thing that sets you apart from your competitors, and the best thing about it is that it can be totally free. You don't have to pay for customer service. We must also remember that people are spoiled for choice. So the main aim of this webinar today is to provide you with a few ideas and actions based on your own job role that you can easily take back to the workplace and apply and implement immediately in order to improve the experience of your customer. You'll discover that some of the methods we discuss are easy to work with no matter what type of organization you work for or your level within it. It's about going from good to great, like I have said. Great teams deliver excellent customer service that stands out and makes the individual and the organization the kind that customers want to return to time and time again. We all have a good customer service story to tell, but what is important is making sure that your customers have one to tell about you. That is what is important. So the objective of customer service is to actually acquire, but more importantly, keep customers. Often when I ask in a training course, what is the objective of customer service, people often say sales. That is absolutely not the objective. The objective is actually acquiring customers, because without customers, there will be no sale. So what we're going to do, and you should take notes as we go along, specifically on measurement of customer service, and then you can apply them. Also, I want to highlight that we need to, if we're not measuring something, it normally doesn't matter. Okay, so the basics of customer service are actually very simple, and it's ultimately about doing what we would expect from other service providers. We know that being polite, smiling, and making the customer feel good about themselves and their purchase is at the core of creating a good customer experience. But somehow, this is no longer enough. Customers have become much more discerning. They have a much greater awareness of what is going on in the world, what they should expect from a company, and that is very simple for them to take their business elsewhere when their own high standards are not being met. It's also now very easy to complain these days without having to face confrontation. So we don't have to speak to someone directly. Social media, social networking, and it can do huge damage to an organization's reputation and also an individual's reputation. So our job as customer service providers, no matter what your job title, that is your role, is to exceed expectations and go the extra mile to create an experience that seems exceptional to the customer, something that is going to make you stand out. Of course, we must still get the basics right. But if we want to establish a name for delivering outstanding customer service, we must be prepared to go further. If we want to improve customer service, it's important some way of measuring where we currently are and where we are trying to get to. That way we can establish progress on a continual basis. We're going to take a look at a measurement system, and I will talk you through the measurement system and what exactly it means. So when we, for instance, look at this graph, and I would suggest that you actually use this, you can print out from your slides that you've received and use it as a measurement tool. You can also put something like this together that would make sense for your particular company. So first of all, we're going to look at the good side of the radial circle. So if we look at wow factors, the questions we need to ask ourselves is, do you do things over and above your duty? Do customers come away from the interaction with you feeling that they have had a great experience? Do you connect with customers and turn difficult situations into positives? Those are the kinds of questions you need to ask yourself if you are going to measure your wow factor. On the alternate side of that, or the converse side of that, is, do you just do your day-to-day job and consider customer service as a natural result of you speaking to them? There's no real need to make an effort to the customer service because they get the product or service they want at a fair price, so what's the point? If that is your approach, then your wow factor would be pretty low. Then when it comes to written testimonials, do you have heaps of positive emails, letters or messages from customers about all the times you got it right? Or do you regularly get feedback from internal and external customers that highlight what a great job you are doing and how you go the extra mile? On converse side, which will give you a lower scale when it comes to written testimonials, is do you not get written testimonials because we're not that type of company, or we used to get them but customers can't be bothered with all that anymore? Or do you work in a culture where internal customers hassle when things are done wrong, but they rarely praise when things are done right? And this is unfortunately often the case, but we'll discuss it later in our presentation. When it comes to training, do you take the time to improve your training in customer service or processes that affect the customers? Or do you have regular meetings where you address issues that occur and develop ideas to overcome them? Are you up to date and consistent in your approach to training and ensure that all staff adhere to the same correct practices? On the other hand, or do you provide a little bit of service training when things go wrong? And this, unfortunately, is the case. As someone that is in training, I know the moment I have to go and do customer service training, it's because there's been several complaints or because an organization is bleeding clients. Do you provide developmental feedback in a yearly one-to-one? This is absolutely not enough. What we're saying, if we only give feedback on an annual basis, is that for a whole year, you could be making exactly the same customer service mistakes. Find out you've been doing something incorrectly when you spot someone else doing it right, or is training something you just don't have time for or you don't invest in. And then when it comes to repeat customers and referrals, do your customers come back? Do you get new customers being recommended to you all the time? And when a customer comes, do you ask who actually recommended you, specifically in service, a service instead of a product? Why do they come back? Or do you spend most of your effort trying to attract new customers? We must remember existing customers are much better and take less effort and time to actually keep than customers that we are trying to attract. Or you can't remember the time you saw the same face twice. You have to convince people of your worth. Are you not being recommended to new customers, and are your old customers not coming back? So we need to take a look at these things. Now on the bad area, now I know good and bad seems harsh. You can always change it. You can always say good and need for development if you would like to do that. But let's take a look at the bad, because I think when it comes to customer service, we need to say it as it is. All right? So are there recurring problems? Do you resolve problems as quickly as they arise and put actions in place to ensure that they don't happen again? Do you preempt problems that could arise in your processes and procedures and work on implementing fixes before issues occur? Or do problems occur over and over again, creating consistent issues that leave customers feeling frustrated? Or do you feel powerless to resolve customer issues because your processes get in the way? Do customers make comments like, this is the third time this has happened? If that is the case, then your score on recurring problems would be very low. On delays, do customers get served as quick as is reasonably possible, or do they get information provided when they need it? Do customers know why they are delayed when it is unavoidable? Do you update them? And this is something that I have noticed. People are very afraid of giving you bad news, so they think no news is good news. And that's not in the case. That is definitely not the case when it comes to customer service. We want to know where we are standing in the process. Okay? We want to know that you are actually addressing our problems. Do you look at the potential or known delays that you have and identify methods of overcoming them? Or do you have times where customers are left hanging around waiting? There's nothing worse than that. If you just look at the times you've had to hold on to actually speak to someone when you have a problem, and the emotional process that you actually go through as an individual, because what is happening at that stage is you're thinking, you're frustrated at this moment, and you're not important to the person on the other end? Or do you have times where customers are left hanging around waiting? Like I said earlier, telephone customers left on hold or not getting to the right person the first time? Do you have queues that creep around your workplace? If you are a place that actually has you selling a product, are there long queues and waiting times? Do customers comment about the length of time they have to wait for things or the delays in getting to the right people at the right time? When it comes to complaints, do you really get complaints from internal or external customers? Is it a surprise when something goes wrong and a customer raises an issue? Or do you have to seek negative comments from customers to help develop your processes? Do you preempt and identify methods of ensuring they do not occur again? Or do you have a culture of complaints where internal customers are always letting you know what you're doing wrong? When I say internal customers, it's the people that you are working with. We'll talk about it a little bit and we'll expand on it a little bit later in this presentation. Do you complain about the organization constantly and have colleagues that do the same? And are you deluged with customer complaints and consistently spend your time fighting fires? If that is the case, again, you would be scoring low in this particular area. When it comes to process failures, do you have processes that work so smoothly you hardly know they are there? Or do you constantly adapt your processes to ensure you are getting the best out of them and discuss these with other people they affect in order to ensure they are at their most effective? Does everyone know how the processes work and clearly understand why they are in place? Or do the processes get in the way of you doing the job? And I always say we must be careful that the tail doesn't wag the dog. You have to look at a process. If processes have been there forever, it does not mean that they can't be improved or can be replaced. We must always be looking for something better, okay? Do you not even have any processes? And this I have noticed. If I ask people, how do you measure customer service? Most people, when it comes to internal and external customer service, measure customer service based on complaints. That means that they do not have a measuring process in place. They are actually reactive to customer service in a situation like that. Are the processes so complicated that people don't understand them and end up doing things incorrectly or their own way? So I would really highly suggest that you use this when it comes to measuring customer service. Use it as a tool. It's very simple, and I would say regularly update yourself. It's a very simple tool for measuring your customer service levels and a clear starting point on your customer excellence journey. We must remember that customer service and customer excellence is not a once-off thing. You don't just put processes in place and there we are, it works. You should periodically return to this chart and complete it in order to see how you have progressed and what has changed. It's an ongoing process that you should work on over time and you keep returning to. Every time you interact with a customer, you are representing the organization. You are actually presenting the brand of your company, which is how the company is perceived by the general public. You should already have a good idea of the brand of your organization through the image it portrays to you and its customers. So if you were not working where you are working right now, what would you say about your particular company? Okay, this will already give you a general idea on what you think. And if we want to highlight the importance of brand, let's take a look at you going to shop for a gift. Okay, so the first thing that you would do is you would go to a shopping mall. So yeah, you are in a shopping mall. When you walk into the shopping mall, you have got two shops to choose from. Let's say Woolworths, and we'll say ShopRite. As you walk in, what do you see? As you walk into ShopRite, what happens? At the door, immediately, if you've got other bags in your hands, they will immediately close your bags with sellotape. Will the security guard greet you? As you're going down the aisles, are you asked if someone can help you? You will also know there's construction on certain aisles. You'll notice your surroundings. And if you really think about what you see from the moment you walk in, This is all about brand. Now, when you get to the gift, you'll get a certain price. Let's say you are going to get a set of glasses, crystal glasses, and you will obviously look at the price. Okay, but now you've got time, so you'll go to Woolworths. You'll walk into Woolworths. Your first contact will be with the security guard, who will actually greet you as you come in, will not tie your bags. As you walk into the aisles, you will also notice that it's plush, it's a little bit more sophisticated, the setup, and you don't actually have to look hard for what you're getting. But more importantly, someone will walk up to you and ask you if they can help you, and you will tell them what you need. You will find your crystal glasses, and they are more expensive than what you actually experienced at ShopRite, obviously. So what we have identified right through this process is everything to do with brand. And brand is about identifying the perception of value, and it can alter how much we pay for things, what we expect to get by way of service, and how much we value an organization and the people that work for it. As important as an organization brand is, the brand of the people working within it is very important. This brand should reflect the value the individual places on working for the organization and the people that they are serving. So when you are in ShopRite, you would have had, your interaction would have been with the cashier. How that person treated you will actually tell you how they feel about their role in the organization. When someone doesn't care about the service they provide, this reflects badly on both them and the organization they work for. You have a duty of care to provide the best possible service and consider your own personal brand when dealing with customers. I've even seen incidents, and I'm sure you have too, where an individual's brand far exceeds that of the organization they work for, and they are like a shining beacon of positivity in an otherwise negative brand scenario. So the question we should ask ourselves is, what do I want customers to say about me as an individual? And this is also, besides the measuring tool I've provided you with, I think this is a good exercise to actually go through yourself.